strange as well. George Lucas regrets doing Howard the Duck, which didn't upset that many people because no one went to see it. But he doesn't regret doing Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That upsets millions and millions of fans. I do not get that at all.
Yeah.
Because if he says that, he can't make more money from it.
Do you think George Lucas will ever move on from Star Wars? Think of something new?
No.
How old is he now?
I don't know.
Old enough to know better?
Yeah, it's too late for him now.
Is he doing a number 7?
No.
There's rumours flying around.
No.
Rumours flying around. Though I believe the current one is, if he does do more, they'll be set like 1,000 years after Jedi, so he can do whatever the hell he wants. So he doesn't have to tie
I
it
heard
into-
he was thinking of doing a TV series about what the accountants were doing whilst all this was going on. Just in case you wanted to know a bit more about the bureaucracy.
That sounds really interesting.
Well, he did recently finish 50 hours worth of script for the Star Wars live TV show
Oh,
that he intends to start shooting next year, I believe.
Live TV show.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of stuff in between episodes 3 and 4. God knows what the hell it's going to be. All I know is he's written 50 hours worth of scripts.
But yeah.
Don't cast Hayden Christensen.
No one casts Hayden Christensen. Not since Jumper.
You know, Phantom Menace was released. I remember going to see it with a few mates of mine, and at the beginning, this is a long time ago, Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yeah.
The whole audience cheered. You know, like how they did
Really?
Fanboys.
Yeah.
They cheered. Oh god, they were going crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Because-
Now looking back now,
At the end, they're all crying.
yeah, I bet they're all crying. Some of them were dressed up as a character from
See,
there.
this is
I'm
the
sure
thing.
I saw some guy dressed up as Jar Jar Binks.
Oh,
this is the thing, because there was a responsibility there for these guys.
yeah.
People who've grown up on it. I hadn't even grown up on it, and
No.
I feel I was let down.
Yeah.
But we grew up on the special edition 1997.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
So
didn't do anything too drastic to them, so I've got no
No.
problem. Oh, with the exception of making Greedo shoot first
Greedo shoots first.
They changed
in
that.
the special edition.
'Cause
Yeah,
I
that's
knew
what the
Gre-
whole thing's over.
I knew Greedo shot first. I didn't know they made him. shoot
Yeah, in the
first
original,
new
Han
one.
shot first.
That's crazy. Oh god.
Because Han shot first! Makes Han Solo a badass.
Oh okay. So.
Did you not understand this? Did you just think...
Well, no, I knew it was an argument, but I didn't know they actually
Yeah,
changed
that's what it's
it
all
in the
over.
remastered.
In the
That's
original
mental.
version, Han shoots first. He kills Greedo at point-blank range in cold blood,
Yeah.
making him a badass. That kind of gives him the overall character arc of redemption,
Yeah.
joining the Rebels. In the new one, Greedo shoots first at point-blank
Yeah,
range
hits
and
the wall,
misses,
doesn't
and then Han retaliates and kills him, which is stupid.
That's annoying. I was always on the Greedo shoots first bandwagon, but now you've enlightened me. It
Phil,
seems-
take your arms away from your testicles. I'm going to hit them.
Nope.
Okay, but at some point during the record, I'm going to,
Nope.
and I will announce just after I've hit him, just so the listeners know.
Nope. Not gonna happen. Nope.
You'll let your guard down eventually.
Told you Han shot first.
Well, you complained then about Greedo shooting the first. You know, the 2005 DVD release.
Yes.
To make it linked to prequels, at the end, they show Hayden Christensen's
Yeah,
Anakin Skywalker.
yeah.
Yeah.
And John, you said something interesting the other day about that, didn't you?
Yeah, about how Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda still get their 600-year-old bodies to live on for eternity. And then Hayden Christensen, who turned out to be a robot, he gets his 19-year-old body to spend eternity in. Someone got a bad deal.
Time to comment. You mentioned the ages. Obi-Wan Kenobi has not aged well. He's played by 80-year-old Alec Guinness, and he's supposed to be about 50. If you do a little maths, he's in his 50s. He's about 20 in episode 1. He's about 30 in episode 3.
Yeah.
And that's about 20. He's in his
That's
early
funny, isn't it?
50s.
That's so bad. I never really thought of that.
He has lived in a hole in the desert.
You know, as well, the link to the prequels to the original is awful as well. Remember Leia
it's not super
in Return of the Jedi saying she remembers her mother being sad and that.
Yeah.
She was sad.
Oh, yeah, she was dying.
Yeah.
Well, how can you remember that?
But
She was
surely
dying of a broken heart.
Would she not be talking about the mum that she was given to?
No, she was saying, what do you remember about your mother, your real mother? She knows she's adopted.
Because she knew she was adopted. Okay.
Yeah, they told her.
Oh, right, okay.
She was a minute born. She couldn't remember.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That is
my mum
impressive.
looks
You
sad
don't
and
know
dying.
she couldn't.
Well, maybe she's got some of the Jedi blood in her.
Yeah,
Maybe
she's
she was-
strong in the Force.
maybe like felt her mother's presence and remembers that.
Yeah, maybe.
You know.
Maybe.
We'll go with that's the explanation.
You see, that's the thing with the originals. You can do that with the prequels. You can't.
But she can never feel her father's presence when Darth Vader was ever around.
To be fair, she
good
never
point.
met him.
Until he tried to kill her brother.
Yeah.
Oh, and blew up her planet.
Oh, yeah. Including her actual adopted parents. That's a lame death for Jimmy Smits, considering how much they built him up in 2 and 3.
Yeah.
He dies off screen
Yeah.
in a mighty explosion. Mace Windu they set up in 2 movies and then killed him epically. Jimmy Smits Yeah, you're blowing up because Darth Vader's a dick.
Loves about how it took George Lucas 3 movies to realise that Jar Jar Binks should just stay in the background and not say anything.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because I thought he'd learn his lesson after the first one, but in the second one, Jar Jar still had a speaking role.
Well, it's
Yeah,
good.
he gave him a few lines,
Kids
didn't
loved
they?
him, and he's largely just as a little fan service to the kiddie fans. Oh, you also do get the brilliant thing of everything that happens in Episode 3 is kind of Jar Jar's fault, as it's Palpatine and his henchmen who persuade Jar Jar to elect the emergency powers, and that doesn't go well. That ends in war and a big steaming heap of dead Jedi children.
Yeah.
Poor younglings.
Master Skywalker, what will we do?
I love the thing.
But actually, the kids' acting is much better than Hayden Christensen's acting. I've heard terrible things. You kill younglings.
I think you have to just have a quick shout out just to the word younglings. What the fuck? What was wrong with the word kids?
Or children, you know.
Yeah.
Yoda can get away with saying it because he speaks weird anyway.
Yeah.
But Obi-Wan and everyone else says younglings?
Yeah, that
No.
just seems strange. I never really questioned it. I just assumed it was space talk for kids. You know, in space English.
Well, I'm sure the word children has been used somewhere.
Yeah, it must have been.
Probably.
In the original.
What is it?
I'm sure someone refers to Anakin as that stupid kid in the first one, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. What? Is it Jedi children? In which case,
Maybe.
couldn't they have a cooler name for it?
Jedi-lings?
Yeah, younglings, Padawan, Knight, Master.
Well, that is stupid. Also, there's a bit in the second one where he's walking around. Everything is spaced up the wazoo, except for his bag, which he's taking.
I know.
He's taking to Tatooine or wherever it is he's going, which is just a normal carry
It's just
bag
a
you might
rucksack.
take to an
Yeah,
airport.
the ones with the wheels on.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's something we had a big laugh about when we watched it as the marathon.
Yeah.
I think Dave or someone pointed out.
That made me laugh. But that's quite good. That's kind of in the vein of Star Wars that I like. You know,
Yeah,
the stormtrooper hitting his head on the door frame.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah,
like
that's hilarious.
One of my favourite things about it, at least in the prequels, not prequels, the good ones,
that.
edit out prequels, good ones, is the fact that it's a used universe. Everything's run down, everything's dirty.
Yeah.
But in the prequels, everything looks like generic sci-fi. It looks like Star Trek.
Yeah.
And it's only taken it 20 years to become that rundown and shit.
Well, the Empire wasn't a good thing. Fantastic law and order, but
A similar sort of thing
dirty.
to Scar taking over in Lion King.
we just watched Lion King and pointed out, as soon as Scar takes over, Africa becomes a wasteland, and the sun seems to die. And Simba comes back and roars, everything's better, and his mate's pregnant.
Yeah.
Powerful roar.
I was going to say, powerful guy.
What do we say about prequels? Well, C-3PO was useless. Actually, he's useless in all three of them.
Yeah, he's just supposed to be a fussy
This is a
English
common
butler who
guy.
gets in the way.
He does have the two greatest lines in Star Wars in Episode 2.
I know the ones you mean.
Where R2-D2 is dragging him round. He drags his head next to his body. He goes, I'm quite beside myself. It makes me laugh so much.
I thought you were going to say, when he's actually dragging you, oh, life is such a drag.
Yeah, and that's the other one. That's the other one.
Bad puns!
They are so bad, but so funny.
In the third movie, he actually admits, I feel so useless.
Yeah.
He actually says that. Okay,
He is
thank you.
useless. He's just a
In the franchise,
stupid character, but funny.
what I don't like about 3PO in the prequels is, in Episode 2, he goes on a crazy adventure in the droid factory.
Yeah.
That he
Yeah.
seems
Weird, isn't
much more capable than he actually is.
Yeah, when he's like holding on to that
he's
thing,
holding on to
it's
stuff
like-
that he
bit
shouldn't be
weird.
able to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
And there's the whole wacky thing of, we're putting C-3PO's head on a battle droid
Yeah.
and a battle droid's head on C-3PO. It's hilarious. Hilarity ensues.
Do you know R2-D2 use that jetpack in the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you know when we're about to see the Millennium Falcon in the fourth one, and you see him walking down the stairs? Why don't you just use your jetpack?
Oh yeah, he's.
It'll be. Well, yeah. I know George.
That's
did
the hard
before.
thing with prequels, isn't
Well,
it?
I imagine
They
that he has a
call new
limited
stuff.
amount of fuel.
So it's
And
run, it's
when
ran
he
out.
can-
For the
when he
past-
can
for the
get-
past 20 years, it's ran out there. Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine they would fill them at some point, but you could use the jetpack to get upstairs. But I doubt Luke or Obi-Wan has just a thing of droid jetpack fuel in the Falcon. So he can do stairs anyway. So he might as well walk the stairs. I don't know why we're debating the stairs specifically, but we are.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you don't run everywhere, do you? You walk, so
Yeah, exactly.
you know you don't want to. Maybe that's.
I
He doesn't want to
can't
wear
run.
himself out.
It's useful to point out that C-3PO isn't useful until the sixth one, where you can translate what the Ewoks are saying.
Yeah. That is actually useful. I think he's God and stuff. That's so funny.
I think in the original, 3PO is always kind of funny as his whole attitude of, I don't care what's going on, deal with my problem.
Yeah. It does.
What do you mean the Falcon's on fire? Fix me! Fix me!
They were classic moments, not like the prequels.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, they all have a few, there's at least one or two decent moments in all of them.
Yeah.
But,
The lightsaber duels.
yeah, their fights are usually pretty neat.
Yeah.
That thing that Lucas does of trying to get a chase sequence or something like that in every one of his movies works quite well. And the pod race is quite fun. The kind of chase between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett was quite cool in the asteroid field. And the space battle at the beginning of episode 3 is quite neat.
Yeah, I like that.
And the kind of car chase thing through Coruscant is pretty cool.
Basically, all action and CGI stuff's actually done really well, but
And actually quite
Then
some of the other stuff, not so quality.
If they could have just backed it onto a plot that was as good or in the same sort of league as any of the Star Wars, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, I thought,
But-
yeah.
I think the plot in its most basic form wasn't too bad. It was the way they executed it.
Yeah, going through all the little political background. of
If
it.
they had just had the whole thing of, okay, Obi-Wan's trying to find the assassin in episode 2, whilst Anakin and Padme fall in love. I'd prefer if it was mostly off-screen, as those scenes are bad.
Yeah.
And just slowly hinting at all this stuff rather than playing it out as bluntly as they do.
Yeah.
As there's that moment where Obi-Wan just decides Jango Fett's evil.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually have any proof he's going to pick a fight with Jango.
it's because the fans know.
Yeah.
And George's too lazy to get
Yeah,
Obi-Wan
exactly.
Kenobi to find out he's evil.
And to be fair, quite rightly, Jango does start that fight because there's a Jedi running at him.
But I think you basically, the problem with the prequels was that you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, there wasn't, and you didn't do any
It's a shame
twists
that we
or turns.
found out how it happened.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
We didn't expect it to be that bad, though, did we?
Well, because since the originals came out, everyone's been saying, had their own kind of ideas of what happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I think he made it too basic. I think he could have done a few more, like maybe if Anakin almost turned to the dark side and I don't know, changed his mind. Or
Change his
something.
mind.
Yeah, just so he didn't do it straight away, so he actually had second thoughts and things like a normal
Well, they
person.
tried to do
yeah.
that.
He
It
just
came across badly when
yeah.
it's supposed to be Anakin has second thoughts about it all when he goes to Mace Windu and sends
Oh yeah, I guess.
him and the rest of the Jedi
Then it
Council, who
just-
get dispatched incredibly quickly.
But he just thinks, fuck it, I'm going to be evil anyway. Chop his hand off.
And so he doesn't even side with the winning team there, as Mace Windu's
Yeah,
about
yeah.
to kill the Emperor. Instead of throwing his lot in with the guy who's going to win, which is what happens in most of the situations, he goes with a crisscross and helps kill Mace Windu.
Well, he was thinking he was going to win, though, wasn't he? Because the guy was going to save Padme.
What he wanted
So-
was Mace Windu to arrest him so he could
Yeah,
interrogate
yeah.
him, but Mace Windu was going to kill him because he's too dangerous to be left alive,
Yeah.
which is exactly the excuse Palpatine uses to kill Dooku.
Yeah.
Yeah.